Coach said yesterday that Washington State is another big rival, one of the biggest ones, especially with how competitive these have been. What does it feel like? Like, what does a Washington State rivalry game feel like, and maybe how does that differentiate itself from other games?
I think it's almost the same. At the same time, I think we got more history with the UW, but at the same time, Washington State has been a team that for a long time before I got here as well, they was beating up on us. You know what I mean? Talking whatever they talking. At the same time, we just got to come out here and keep the same schedule, 1-0, and the same process that we've been having because everybody that we play gonna give us their best, and we playing another great opponent this week. We gotta come our hardest.
Coach said the physicality stands out in the Oregon-Washington State games. You're somebody who I think doesn't shy away from that part.
Sure.
What you get excited about the idea that it may come down to the more physical team, the tougher team?
Yeah, that's probably the best part about it. Just the fact that it's gonna get real nitty gritty within the trenches and also on the perimeter. You know what I mean? We're gonna try to make it a physical task for everybody on the field between them white lines. So we couldn't ask for a better challenge.
Washington State has been such a strange year for them, but is it somewhat admirable or respectable the way they've responded going through what they've gone through? 1-4 straight in conference. They're right behind you in the standings. This game means a lot.
Definitely. Their record does not change the respect that I give towards their organization or their program. I know what type of team they got. I know how they play. I know how hard they play, what type of organization they're around, how they coach, all that, the ins and outs. So I can't come out thinking no less of them because of their record or anything like that. I got to come on and just like it's the national championship, just like I think they're going to come out, you know what I mean? So that's how we're going to attack it.
One more back from Saturday's game. Maybe it gets lost a little bit, but your catch, I think, in that drive, the first scoring drive, your first touchdown drive, your catch to kind of get things going for Anthony. He'd really struggled before that. Do you feel like that was a play that kind of got things going for the offense? Because it was a long play. Obviously, you come down and you score the touchdown to Devin. But
Definitely. I think that play definitely played a factor in my quarterback getting comfortable in our offense. You know what I mean? I think some of our guys really just see me as a leader. So when I make some plays, everybody kind of sparks a match for a lot of our guys. So I think I kind of just sparked something in his head and where he think that he just had to stay to his course and we was going to do what we had to do. At the same for Dev. Dev seen me make a play and he just thought that, all right, maybe I need to make a play as well because our offense only goes as far as the receiver takes them. So that's how we think and that's how we play.
can I ask you just how Anthony has accomplished that, being a leader? And we stands here, players walk by and they joke around with him. It seems like everybody really likes him. How does he maintain and develop that popularity?
I would say just composure. He treats himself with maturity. You know what I mean? He's been through a lot, and you can see it. It's not something that you have to go find. He kind of shows it firsthand when, you know what I mean, he's been through a lot. He's overcome a lot. We've had a lot of adversity. So just how he's acted when certain situations came in his face so suddenly, that's why we respect him so much. It's just how he carries himself around those situations.
How does that manifest itself on Saturday against Washington, where the game does start out slow and he obviously turns it around, but that confidence you guys have with him even when things aren't good?
That confidence that we have, I mean, at the same time, he's somebody who doesn't know anything about the rivalry and haven't experienced the rivalry, you know what I mean, all that type of stuff. The conditions, never played there. It's so much that you gotta put in the factor that he probably was his first time being a part of, you know what I mean? So the fact that he was able to overcome all this stuff in a different environment, far from home, he's just a tough guy, and I wouldn't want to go to war with anyone else.
Is there anything specifically in those conditions that you do to change your preparation as a wide receiver?
To change my preparation, I wouldn't say change my preparation, but I would say just get mentally prepared for a dogfight and the cold. You talking about Washington, right? Yeah, right. Just getting your mind right for the cold and all conditions. Anything can happen. It's gonna be rain, wet, but at the same time, it's gonna be like one of those old school football games when you was 9 years old, when you first loved football. That's one of those games, as my coach say, Brian McKinnon. Them games like that, them slugfest, is gonna show out who really loves football the most, because that's how we really started playing football.
When a game starts out like that and it looks like passing yards are going to be hard to come by, sorry if you've been asked this, but just did you change your mentality at all? Like, all right, I'm going to have to do some different things to be an impact player in this game?
I when it got wet, I kind of knew that the ball wasn't going to be thrown as much, but at the same time, I'm prepared for anything, you know what I mean? But definitely the fact that it was raining kind of put a little edge on me as far as making sure whenever we get a ball to our running backs that he has nobody responsible. A receiver is responsible for it to make the tackle. Is what I'm trying to say.
Coach shouted you out yesterday for the physicality you played with, but also not taking the bait when some people tried to get under your skin. I guess, is it fun to get under people's skin? And then, I mean,
It is fun to get under people's skin a little bit, but at the same time, we all got to keep it football between these white lines and try to do whatever we can to not hurt the team. That's the end result.
does that tell you you're doing your job to some
That
extent?
definitely tells me I'm doing my job to some extent.
You were here in 19, and you went through that experience where in November, every win at this time just gets bigger and bigger, and the next game just feels bigger and bigger because of what's at stake. How important is it for this team to kind of understand that you can't look ahead to 2 weeks or whatnot because you have to focus on that 1 week because like we saw in 19, the ASU game?
I think that's tremendous. I think the fact that Coach Cristobal and some of our coaches really been emphasizing that stuff it's really big because we don't have a lot of people that's really been through big games as much, and really we don't have as many vets than compared to the younger guys, is what I'm trying to say. So the fact that he keeps trying to mirror that image and that message, is what I'm trying to say, is just something that the young guys could kind of hold on to and just stay. Because me personally, I have been through something like that, so I can kind of back them up on that type of stuff. Like, man, we can't get comfortable. The more when you get comfortable, that's when you slip up. So just the fact that he emphasizing all of that, if he didn't, he would feel bad that he didn't, and we went out there and, blew it if we did, So at the same time, we just got to keep on holding on, doing what we're doing, staying in our 1-0 process. We can't get comfortable and attack every game like it's the same.